Good morning, Level 6 students. Today we are going to finish another chapter from our textbook, which is Oxford Progressive English course books. Okay, so Level 6 students, today the lesson that we'll study is from Unit 8, Lesson 6. Okay, and that is basically a poem which is called Geography. So let's start lecture number 6, okay, and open page 194. So students, when you open page 194, our lesson looks like this, okay. This is our poetry written by Zulfikar Ghosh, okay. Let's start. In this poem, he describes what he has learned about the world. He has learned more than just geography. So students, what is geography? We'll study the meanings, okay. I will give you the words with their meanings. I want you all to note down the meanings, underline the hard words on your books and note it down, okay. And then we will start the reading and explanation, okay. So students, let's focus. So what are the meanings of geography? Geography is basically the study of physical features of land and surface of earth. Okay. Now we will come to the central idea of the poem. Okay. So basically I will tell you a little bit more about this poem. Okay. The author is expressing his feelings, his ideas, his observation. What he has learned about this planet Earth, what he has learned about world, whatever he has learned, he is conveying through this poetry, okay, the findings through his poetry. So first students, I want you all to note down the meanings of geography. I hope that you already know the meanings, you are already familiar with the meanings. Still, you can note it down, okay. Now we will come to our central idea of the poem, okay. I will read it. That is just for the explanation, okay. The poem Geography has been written by the poet Zulfikar Ghosh, okay. In it, the poet expresses his idea through his poetry, and that is, the land and all the cities built by mankind, when seen from distance and height, look unplanned and similar in appearance, but deep down inside, why do they nourish hate, discriminations on basis of differences, which has made man to build up high walls of separation and made them kill each other, and that the reason is unclear. Why exactly do they do it? This behavior is unexplainable, okay. So now students, we will come to word meanings from the lesson. Number one word given in our lesson is sprang, okay. And first line is when the jet sprang into the sky, first line. So the word is sprang, okay. Sprang is the second form of which verb? Spring, okay. Second form of spring. First form is spring and second form is sprang, okay. And the meanings of spring is to rise or leap. Here he is talking about his aeroplane. Whenever his plane used to fly high up in the sky, from that particular height, he used to observe the cities and the appearance, okay. So with all that visualizations, he has given the idea of the poem, okay. Now we will come to, so students, note down the meaning. Spring means to rise or leap, okay. Now number two, inevitability. Meanings are unable to be avoided, sure to happen, something that will for sure going to happen, will always happen, we call it as inevitable, okay. Number three, haphazard. Meanings are irregular, random, okay. Number four, delineated means portray or display, okay. Number five, rose. Students, answer me one thing. Is this that rose? Rose flower? Is that one with petals? No. This rose is the second form of one verb, which is Rice. Okay, here it is written rice. Rise is the first form. Second form is rose. Third is risen. So students, rise we all know. Rise means to go up. Okay. So that were the word meanings. Okay. Now I'm going to explain you the poetry paragraph by paragraph. Okay. Let's begin. Yes. So here how our first paragraph looks like. I will read from here. Read the following poem by Zulfikar Ghaus. In this poem, he describes what he has learned about the world. He has learned more than just geography. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had. Seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile, there seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned, and without style. So here students, when the jet sprang into the sky, it means the plane. Okay, the plane when it flew into the sky, when it went up and it reached some height in the sky, what happened? He saw from height. That vision was very clear. Okay, what was that? That he noticed the random pattern of the cities development, the way cities grow. When you fly up into the high in sky, what do you see from there? If you look out from the window and you're lucky enough to travel in daytime, you might have noticed the houses and the colonies, societies look small tiny blocks, right? So students, this line, I will read it. There seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned, and without a style. So, students, here, what does the author mean by this? In these verses, the author simply means that the houses, when you see from that height, from this much height from the sky, when you're sitting in the plane, when you look out from the window, what you will see? You are going to see haphazard, totally random pattern of houses constructed in cities, houses, the buildings, okay? So they look like small tiny blocks scattered randomly throughout the place, okay? We call them the houses, colonies, buildings. So that is how we see the land masses, the lands from that height, okay? That is the geography of the land of a city. Okay, students, what is the geography of a city if you see from the height? You will be only able to see so many tiny random blocks without any specific pattern, right? There is no fixed position. Everything is scattered throughout the city, small tiny blocks. Okay, so that this is what the author is saying in these lines, okay? So from that height, one thing for sure they are going to experience, that they are going to see. And what is that? That is the randomness of the cities. The way cities have progressed, developed, scattered, it's totally random. No fixed size or position, okay? So that was our first paragraph. So students, this poem is basically divided in 3 paragraphs, okay? So I will tell you one more thing about first paragraph. We can actually name them, okay? We can label them. So first paragraph, we can give it the heading of physical features of city when seen from height, okay? So what are the physical features here? The poet has noticed the physical features he's telling us whenever he flies in plane and his plane gains some height. From height he can easily see the small tiny blocks, the houses and the city, why they have grown in such a way, in totally random, unplanned manner. The vision was very clear. The way cities had developed. It's totally random, out of order. There is no specific style. Okay, the way cities have grown, it's totally random, scattered roughly. That was our first paragraph. Now we will come to our second paragraph. There we go. Yes. So I will read. When the jet sprang into the sky, when the jet reached 10,000 feet, it was clear why the country had cities where rivers ran and why the valleys were populated. The logic of geography. That land and water attracted man was clearly delineated when the jet reached 10,000 feet. So here this is our second paragraph, okay? In second paragraph we label it as sustenance of human life, spread and its nourishment, okay? The way it has spread and scattered, found its nourishment. So it has gone through all kinds of developments, okay? Now we will come to its explanation part. So it's telling what here in the second paragraph, which is also related to geography. Geography means things when seen from top, from height. What do you see when you see on the land? All that kind of features and the details, okay? So in this one, it is also telling us further features of the land. When did he notice? When his plane flew further. It went further up, high up in the air, okay, in the sky. And from that height, what did he see? It was very clear, it was very visible in all the countries and where the cities grew, where the cities were developed, where the cities were found, near the sources of water. The rivers were very clearly visible. So he noticed all the cities and human life have developed near the sources of water, near these rivers, and that is why valleys are populated, okay? Because life sustains whenever there is water. So this is the reason, students, this reason wherever there is water, life develops, okay? So this reason author has termed as the logic of geography, okay? Now, and what is the reason? That water attracts life and living things, including man and animal, okay? That we all know. So this is the thing that was being shown very clearly. Here it's written dearly delineated. Dearly means very clearly visible. Something was very clearly visible. What was very clearly visible? The logic of geography was very clearly visible. And what was the logic of geography? The logic of geography was when the plane gains further, when the plane goes further up into the air, gains more height, what happens? From that height, what was very visible? Near, when he noticed in the countries wherever there were rivers flowing, he noticed all the cities were developed near the river only, okay? At the places wherever there was no water, they were mostly the forest or the deserts. Life was not there. So life grew only, life developed only near the sources of water, okay? So this is what he observed when his plane reached the height, how it went 10,000 feet. Okay, it's pretty good. So second paragraph is again telling us the further details of the physical features when he observed when his plane went further up into the sky. Now third paragraph is a little bit different and it's crucial, okay? So third paragraph, students, we can term it as the observation and the findings of the author. From outside, this is how it looks like, okay? Whenever you observe something, you watch it from outside. Outer appearance is like that, and what is going on inside, we always think and notice, right? So here, I will read it, okay? When the jet rose 6 miles high, now further it went further up high, okay? It was clear that the earth was round and that it had more sea than land. But it was difficult to understand that the men on earth found causes to hate each other, to build walls across cities and to kill. from that height it was not clear why. Okay, so now I will tell you. So students, see, rose is underlined. I'll ask you again, is it that rose with petals, the one with petals and it smells really nice? No, this rose means raising, going up. Okay, and this is the second form and the first form is rise. Okay, so what happened when the plane gained further height? So from that height, what he noticed, that the planet, it all looks round. Okay, very smooth and round planet, a beautiful one, but it had similar kinds of countries and forms of lands. All the land forms kind of looked similar, were same. Okay, and what else he noticed, that from outside it looks very fine, they all look same, but inside they are not same. The human population, man, is not same, they are very different. Man has developed hatred. Okay, hate between each other, hate among themselves, and the reasons to kill. Okay, they have divided all the countries, they have divided each other, separated themselves, developed hatred on the basis of differences, and not only that, they have built big walls, very huge walls, okay, walls of hatred, and they have made the reasons to kill. Man is the only living creature that kills huge number of humans. Humans kill most of the humans. Okay, they impose wars on other countries, they spread the hatred, so many things they do. But when seen from above, from that height, all the things look same, and what is he saying? That reason why it's like that is still not clear. What is the reason of doing that? Why? Because from outside everything looks very similar, but inside it's not same, it's very different. They have made boundaries, divisions and hate, and they have made walls of separation and reasons to kill each other, right? So this was the poem written by the author Zulfikar Ghosh. I enjoyed reading that. I hope you like that, huh? So now students, we will start the notebook work. Okay, open your notebooks. Okay, so students, write unit name, lesson 6, geography lesson, poetry, word meanings. Our first question number 1 is word meanings. Okay, so note down the first one, sprang. What are the meanings? To rise or leap. But the first form is spring. First form, spring. And what is the meaning of spring? To rise or leap. Okay. Number 2, inevitability. The meanings are unable to be avoided. Number 3, haphazard. Meanings irregular, random. Number 4, delineated means portray or display. Okay. This is question number 1 is completed. Now we have question number 2, reading for interpretation. In this one we have only 5 questions. Okay, in our syllabus we have 5 questions. Question number 1, on the ground a city seems just a mass of streets. How does it look from the jet in the first verse? Answer, it looked very small and its seemingly haphazard arrangement seemed inevitable. This haphazard arrangement is for sure going to, that we know already, and this is going to progress and develop further. Okay, now let's come to question number 2. What do the words haphazard verse 1 and delineated verse 2 mean? Haphazard means unplanned and delineated means portrayed visually. Okay, question number 3. What did the poet understand about why cities were near rivers and why valleys were populated? Answer number 3. Cities near rivers and populated valleys show that historically colonies have always been built near sources of water. Why? Because it supports life, right? Now let's come to question number 4. What does the poet mean by the phrase, the logic of geography in poem Geography? Answer number 4. Logic of geography means the reason where and why the human colonies are built. So that is why human colonies are built near water. What is the logic of geography? I will repeat. The reason where and why the human colonies are built. So that is why human colonies are built near water. Question number 5. When the jet rose 6 miles high in the third verse, what was clear to the poet? Answer. It was clear to the poet that the earth was round and it had more sea than land, right? Okay, now our exercise is done. Time for a quick review. We studied geography lesson and then we completed it exercise. The poet of this poem is Zulfikar Ghosh, and what is he telling in the poem, student? This planet is very beautiful, round planet. It has more water and less land, and this less land is full of humans. Okay, they should live united together because from that height it all looks same, similar. Okay, there are no differences. From that height, differences are not visible. No one can tell what the differences are, but deep down inside there are differences. Humans have made differences, developed hatred and divided each other, and they have made wars, and then they hate each other and then kill each other also. Okay, and that is how they impose wars on each other. Okay, so that is for our today's lesson. See you in our next lecture. Thanks for listening. Take care. Stay safe.